Welcome to Screen Hollywood, the home of movie news and entertainment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome back to Screen Hollywood. I'm your host, Adam. If you're new here, join the Hollywood family and hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and hype button. And bookmark and subscribe to our news publication at screenhollywood.com. We are witnessing the biggest, most reckless, and most fascinating game of chicken in modern box office history. In one corner, you have the wounded titan, Marvel Studios, with its multiversal Hail Mary, Avengers Doomsday. And in the other, you have the unstoppable juggernaut, Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi masterpiece, Dune, Part 3. And they are set to release on the exact same day. For months, I have been sitting here, baffled, confused, trying to understand the strategy. Why would Marvel do this? It is absolute suicide. And just this week, we got the bombshell announcement that proves it. Dune, Part 3 has officially secured all of the IMAX screens across North America for its opening weekend, completely shutting out Avengers Doomsday. This isn't just a scheduling conflict, folks. This is a declaration of war. And it's a war that, I believe, Marvel is about to lose. So today, we're going to break down this catastrophic decision. I'm going to give you some exclusive insider information on why this is happening. And I'm going to tell you why the most expensive film of all time is being set up for a colossal failure. Let me be crystal clear so there is no confusion. Nothing positive comes from Marvel releasing their most important film in a decade on the same day as Dune, Part 3. Nothing. You have a movie in Avengers Doomsday that you are desperately hoping will exceed $2.5 billion at the global box office. And you are intentionally putting it up against a film that has a global, cult-like following. A film with lore so deep and passionate it rivals Star Wars. A film that has effortlessly smashed the box office on two separate occasions and is absolutely destined to break records in its third and final installment. Why? Why the hell would you give yourself this challenge when you are already under so much pressure? And just to be clear, I know the die-hard Marvel fans won't like me saying this, but in this showdown, Avengers Doomsday is the underdog. Don't believe me? You don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the actions of the people who really matter in this fight, the movie theaters. By giving Dune Part 3 every single IMAX screen in North America, they have made their bet. They are banking on Dune. Now, not many people are aware of this, but here's a little inside baseball for you. When studios are planning release dates, it's not just a matter of picking a day on a calendar. They have to go to war with the theater chains. They have to negotiate screen numbers, secure those premium formats like IMAX, and fight for how long their movie will stay in theaters. And in those negotiations, the theaters are the boss. They have aggressive, ruthless, and highly advanced analytics and forecasting departments. They look at the data, they look at the audience trends, and they make cold, hard business decisions about what movie is going to make them the most money. And the results of those ruthless negotiations are now public. The theaters are putting their money on Arrakis, not the Avengers. It is a stunning vote of no confidence, and it shows just how far Marvel has fallen in the eyes of the industry. But why? Why would they do that? Well, we have received some exclusive insider information from a very reliable source explaining the theater's logic, and it makes perfect, terrifying sense. Our source tells us that the theaters have favored Dune for one major reason. Their analytics have forecasted that Avengers Doomsday will be incredibly front-loaded. It will have a massive opening day, maybe even a massive first weekend, driven by the hardcore fan base. But then, it is projected to have a major steep nosedive after the first 4 or 5 days. Dune, Part 3, on the other hand, is forecasted to have a much more consistent, steady audience over a longer duration. It will have legs. And for a theater owner, a movie that plays to strong crowds for 3 or 4 weeks is far more valuable than a movie that burns out in one. And this makes perfect sense to me. It lines up with everything we've been seeing. Dune has a consistent, dedicated, almost disciple-like following. It's a prestige event. It's a cinematic experience. Marvel, on the other hand, has been in a slump for years. Avengers Doomsday is a film that is fundamentally in a begging position. It is begging for the millions of fans who deserted the franchise due to the years of DEI, politics, and woke stories to please come back. Dune isn't begging. They know their fans are coming. They know they're getting the A-list film crowd. They're not in a position of weakness, they're in a position of power, and the theaters know it. Now I can already hear the Marvel fans typing in the comments, yeah, Adam, who cares if Marvel doesn't get the IMAX screens? People are still going to watch it on regular screens. And for those of you saying this, you are half correct. People will still see it. But here's the brutal reality you're missing. Avengers Doomsday is the most expensive and cost-exhausting film of all time. I covered the insane budget details in our previous video, so check that out after this. This movie doesn't just need to be a hit, it needs to make over $2.5 billion just to be deemed a financial success. That is not a debate, that is the bar. At that level, every single dollar counts. IMAX screens are not just bigger screens, they come with substantially more expensive ticket prices. On top of that, IMAX auditoriums are substantially larger, meaning they house much larger audiences per screening. The success of any Hollywood blockbuster is most reliant on its domestic US opening weekend and week. Without the premium revenue from IMAX in the mix, Marvel will lose, by a conservative estimate, at least 15 to 20% of their potential opening weekend revenue before a single ticket is even sold. This is bad. This is a self-inflicted wound of catastrophic proportions. Now, it's not all doom and gloom for Marvel. The reports do confirm that Avengers Doomsday will get IMAX screens, but only at selected theaters globally, but not in the US, not in the market that matters most for that explosive opening number they so desperately need. So what's my final take? Look, I can't wait to see Avengers Doomsday. I am a Marvel fan. I genuinely believe, or at least hope, that it will be a great movie. The fate of the multiverse is at stake, and I will be there on opening night. But I cannot for the life of me see how it will be a box office success. Not with this release date, not with this level of competition, and not with this massive financial handicap they have just been handed by the theater chains. Remember, it has to earn over $2.5 billion to be considered a financial win. With Dune taking the premium screens, a huge chunk of the audience, and premium ticket dollars, that number goes from incredibly difficult to nearly impossible. Marvel picked a fight it did not need to pick, and in doing so, they have shown the entire industry that they are no longer the undisputed kings of the box office. For the first time in a long time, the Avengers are the underdogs, and I think they're about to get crushed. What do you guys think? Is this a catastrophic mistake by Marvel? Or am I underestimating the power of the Avengers? Let me know your honest predictions in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more from Screen Hollywood. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.